Hey everybody, it's Josh here. In this video, I'm dishing out the top 10 free WordPress plugins that I use for the majority of my website designs. A lot of you know that I use Divi. These plugins are not going to be Divi specific. They'll work with any theme. As long as you're using a WordPress website, you're going to be able to use these plugins. So I'm going to give you just an overview of each one, kind of what they do, how they look, and how I've used them on my sites. And then hopefully they're going to be a good fit for you and a lot of your WordPress sites moving forward. So without wasting any more time, let's go ahead and dive right in. The first plugin I'd like to highlight is the Testimonial Rotator. I've been using this plugin for, gosh, I think like 4 years now, and it's awesome. There's a lot of different testimonial rotating plugins out there, and if you do use Divi, you know there's quite a few plugins that can achieve this, but this plugin has been my go-to. It's very lightweight, it's very user-friendly, it's easy to use, and it just works well across all my websites. So practically the way this looks is on my new course page, I have a section here where you have scrolling testimonials, and you can also click through these. And that's exactly what this plugin does. You can easily create testimonials and then set them anywhere in the site to rotate like this. One thing that's really cool about this as well is you can use it in list view. So on my business site, I have a separate page where I have scrolling testimonials, but on my testimonials page, I have them all here in list view. So you can see the person's image and then the actual testimonial. So it's a really great handy plugin. It's very highly rated. It's also, again, really lightweight and really easy to use. So I'll just give you a quick sneak peek of what this looks like. You can see once you have it installed, you've got all the testimonials here that you can add. And you'll notice here that it gives you what's called a rotator. You can add new rotators to put those testimonials on different pages and make them show up differently. So you can make them show up as a scrolling testimonial or a list view. It's a really handy plugin, and you can see how that's all set up here. So I would definitely invite you to check that out. That is the first plugin that I wanted to highlight because it's something that I've used for a long time and it's never let me down. Number 2 is TinyMCE Advanced. Now what this plugin is basically a little extension for your WordPress text editor. So essentially what this looks like is right here in your WordPress editor. It just gives you some more options. It gives you more options for inserting different media and links and tables and things like that. You can format things in more detail. There's some extra things you can do with tables, the way it looks. It's just a really handy plugin. The other reason I use this on every site that I design now is if you've used WordPress for any amount of time, you know that if you type things in here and you style them and there's some HTML, every once in a while, if you go to the text side, which is what's going to show you all the code in WordPress, you notice that if you toggle between the two, a lot of times you'll lose any HTML that you have in there. Now in this case, it's not going to delete this little strong tag to make that text bold, but in a lot of cases, if you have a lot of text in there and you have any sort of coding in there, toggling between the two will often delete the HTML. With this plugin, that is alleviated. It's been a huge, huge help in me and all my website designs without losing text in here and different modules, because again, it saves us from losing HTML when you're toggling between text and visual. So that's the second plugin I highly recommend. Again, this one's really highly rated. It's free. It's awesome. It just gives you some more power with your WordPress text editor. Number 3 is this little handy login logo plugin. So at one point I wanted to customize the dashboard, the login for my client sites, and I wanted to put their logo there. So I found this plugin. I've been using it for a very long time. It's very lightweight. All you have to do is label your plugin with the extension login-logo.png. Make sure it's a transparent PNG file. And then all you have to do is upload it to your WP content folder. And then when you log into your website, it'll look just like this. So you'll come to the normal WordPress dashboard where you would see the WordPress sign or the logo, and you're going to see whatever logo you put in there. So it's really handy to identify what site you're updating. And I've found that it's really good for clients because if clients are updating their sites, they can log in and they see the logo, and it just helps the user experience all around. So that little login logo plugin, super handy, super beneficial. The next plugin I want to highlight is called the Sticky Menu or Anything on Scroll plugin. This plugin is awesome. Now you'll have to look past the featured image because it's kind of a janky looking image, but this plugin is great. It's also really highly rated as well. What this does is any element that you want can be sticky when you scroll down a page. So for example, on my recent course, I have a sidebar here that has the links to all of the lessons and the topics. So what I wanted to do was to improve the user experience so that when somebody scrolls down, that sidebar stays there with them so they could easily navigate between all the lessons. So for example, on this particular post, when you scroll down, you'll see that that sidebar sticks on the menu. And then as we scroll down all the way down, you'll see that it catches on the lower footer section of the website. So you can create all those settings really easily with this plugin. Very easy to use. Here's another example of how I used it on a client site to where they really wanted their emphasis to be on requesting a quote. So when you scroll down, you'll notice that little sidebar section here catches and it works perfectly. So really handy plugin. Definitely recommend checking that out if you want anything to be sticky on your website when you scroll down. All right, number 5 is the Coming Soon page in maintenance mode plugin by SeedProd. I've been using this for many years now. I'm not going to show you an example because it's really user-friendly, but it's very, very easy to set up. If you have a website that you're building and you want to have a nice Coming Soon page, or if you're working on a website and you want to take it down without removing the site, having some sort of landing page or cover-up page is great, and this plugin is what I use and recommend. Cool thing about this is you can customize the Coming Soon or landing page, the maintenance page. So really highly rated. This is actually super highly rated. Definitely recommend checking this out. All you have to do is install it, and then you can get in there, customize the settings as you please to create a nice cover-up page. And you can even give private access if you want to create a link to where you want a client to see it but no one else. And there's a lot of really handy settings. Again, it's very user-friendly. Definitely recommend checking out this plugin if you're wanting to put together a Coming Soon page or a maintenance plan page or a maintenance page. All right, number 6 is what's called the Recent Post Widget Extended plugin. I love this little plugin, and this is how I create my really advanced sidebars. So for example, if we jump over to my site right now, you're going to notice that I have pretty complex sidebars. So on this one, we've got a sign up here. We've got affiliate links, and then when we get down to this section, you're going to notice that you see recent posts, but it's not going to just be one long list of recent posts. It's going to be set up by category. So I've got recent tutorials right here with the featured image and links to the post and the date. We've got recent blogs, recent podcast appearances, and the way this is set up is with this plugin as Recent Posts Widget Extended. Really, really handy. Let me just show you what this looks like. Once it's installed, you go to your widget section and you can drop this in a sidebar or footer area, any widget area in WordPress. And this is exactly what it looks like. It gives you the option to put a title in, put all these details in, and then most importantly, you can select which post types you want to show up with it. So I have, in this case, post selected, and then I have any tutorial that is going to be a Divi tutorial or a WordPress tutorial. And again, that's going to show up in this little area right here. Really, really handy, super easy to use. You can also adjust the thumbnail or keep it blank, and there's a bunch of other settings in here that you could play around with. Now, I do get into some styling with this out of the gate. It may take a little bit of CSS tweaking depending on how you want it to look, but you can try it, right out of the box and see if it works for you. Definitely a very handy plugin for making complex widget areas and sidebars in WordPress. All right, number 7 is this Facebook like box widget. What this is in any widget area in your WordPress site, you can have a little like box that goes right to your Facebook. So for example, on my site, we scroll all the way down, you're gonna see in the footer, this little section right here where people can click to go to my Facebook, and then they can like it directly from the site as well, as long as they're logged into Facebook. And there are a bunch of other settings here that you can check out, but it's all done with this little plugin. And all you do is upload this and you customize the settings to your liking. One thing I like about this is it's been really user-friendly and really compatible for all my sites. I used a couple ones different previously, but those seem to not work well with a lot of the other tools that I was using. This one I've been using for a long time, been very easy to work with, and it's worked well with all my other tools. So if you want to have a little Facebook like box, I'll let you dive in to play around with the settings, but it's really easy to use, really easy to set up, and it's really going to help your customer engagement on all of your WordPress websites as well. Okay, number 8. the MailChimp for WordPress plugin. This plugin is free. There is a pro version, which is what I have if you want to use this on multiple sites. But this plugin allows you to create a little form that people can sign up to your newsletter or download something, and they get automatically added to your MailChimp newsletter list. So I featured this in a previous tutorial on how to set up a sleek MailChimp form, and that's still what I have on the front of my site. So this right here, that's what that plugin is. There's a name area, email. You could add more. You could add more fields here. It's a very customizable plugin. It does take some styling if you want to get really intricate with it, but out of the box, it works really well also. It's also very highly rated, so I definitely recommend checking that out if you're using MailChimp and you want to easily have people sign up for your mailing list. And again, with just a little bit of CSS tweaking, you can create something similar to this. I'll make sure I link back to that tutorial as well if you want to create something like this on your WordPress website. And if you use Divi, you can download this as a free layout to try it out as well. All right, let's move on. Number 9 is the VelvetBlues Update URLs plugin. I featured this in the tutorial where I show you how to migrate your WordPress website. And what I love about this is a tool that allows you to change all of the URLs in your images, content, and everything in your website if you do move a website. It's also good if you add a security certificate. So if your site is not secure and it's just HTTP, and then you get a security certificate. Now the site is HTTPS, but you're getting a lot of broken links. You can go in here and you can really easily just change the link to make sure it is reflecting the new domain. So for example, once you have it logged, or once you have it all set up in your site, you're gonna go to Tools, Update URLs. You're gonna see you can put in your old URL, you're gonna put the new URL, and then I usually have all of these checked to make sure that every URL in the site, including images, content paths, links, attachments, etc., all reflect the new URL. And again, this is ideal for when you migrate a WordPress site from one domain to another, and it's also really good if you're installing a security certificate and you want to make sure you don't have any errors or any broken links. Super handy. This plugin is extremely highly rated. It will definitely help you out if you need to change your image paths or URLs for sure. And finally, to top off my free plugin list is the Events Calendar plugin by Modern Tribe. Now there is a pro version of this. I do recommend the pro version if you get into some customizations and things like that, but the free plugin is very good if you're working on a website that just needs to have some basic events. So for example, I have it over here. This is the free version. Now this client doesn't have any events going on right now, but I love this plugin. It's super easy to use, very easy to set up. You can also filter the view between month and list if you have a lot of events, and then people can go in here and look at all the event details. You can add maps, you can add more details. It's a really highly rated plugin. It's pretty lightweight too. It seems to work well with different themes and different tools. And again, the pro version for this and some of the extensions and add-ons they have are really, really worthwhile checking out as well. So there you go, guys. Those are the top 10 free WordPress plugins that I use for the majority of my website designs. Now there's a lot of other ones I use. I didn't mention WooCommerce, which I didn't want to really include that in the free plugin list because it's so much more than a plugin, but there's a lot of other great ones out there. These are the 10 that I tend to use most for all my website designs. So I really hope they helped you out. I will make sure I link to all these. And again, these are all free plugins, so try them out. If they help you and your website out, let me know. I'd love to hear about it. And hopefully this helps you kind of grow your tool list of WordPress plugins for your web design business. All right, guys, cheers.